The largest rhino farm in the world, which is home to 2,000 animals and located in South Africa, has been bought by the NGO African Parks, which says it plans to return the southern white rhino to the wild over the next 10 years.
개체수 2천여 마리를 보유한 남아프리카공화국의 세계 최대 코뿔소 농장이 야생동물 보호 보존단체인 아프리카 파크'에 인수됐습니다. 이 단체는 앞으로 10년에 걸쳐 남부흰코뿔소를 야생으로 돌려보낼 계획이라고 밝혔습니다. So this is great for the rhinos.
Yeah. So South Africa is apparently home to 80% of rhinos living in the world.
Wow.
And it's there's a lot of poaching that's going on. It's a poaching hotspot, apparently. So they're an endangered species. And despite efforts to protect them, about 448 of them were killed this year. Their horns are in demand in Asia. They apparently have therapeutic effects. I don't know.
But I believe it's illegal, though.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they would be have that sort of effect. So the 15% of the world's remaining wild population of southern white rhinos live in South Africa or live in this reserve. And this 7,800 hectare platinum rhino site, it's been taken over by African Parks. It's an NGO. So taken over, it's another word that we can use instead of being bought by the NGO. And so they're trying to phase out the breeding program and return these 2,000 southern white rhinos to the wild over the next 10 years.
너무 잘 됐네요. 이 동물 보호 단체인 African Parks죠. 발음이 잘 안 되네요. NGO입니다. 이 African Parks가 이 남아공에 있는 코뿔소 농장을 사들였어요. They bought it. What was the other term you used?
It was taken over.
Sorry, yes.
Yes.
Put you on the spot there, didn't I? I have a bad memory. Put someone on the spot라고 하면은 갑자기 이렇게 즉석으로 뭔가 시킨다든지 뭐 물어본다든지 그럴 때 쓰는 표현인데 제가 지금 잠시 그랬습니다. My apologies. 자, 그래서 인수했다, 뭐 사들였다라고 할 때 이제 주어를 African Parks로 본다면은 they have taken over or they have bought this farm. 그리고 거기에서 있는 한 2,000마리의 이 코뿔소를 이제 차츰 10년에 걸쳐서 야생으로 돌려보낸다라는 계획을 밝혔어요. Poaching, 남획을 이제 막고 정말 이 rhinos의 well-being을 위해서 자연으로 돌려주는 그런 계획입니다.
Yep.
And the full term for rhino, of course, is
Rhinoceros. Yes.
All right, let's have a look at the expressions.
Right. So we're talking about platinum rhino. It's a rhino or a rhinoceros farm. And, you know, it's interesting to note that we're using the word farm even for animals because we usually use it, you know, farm for vegetables or when we're using, you know, when we're talking about grains, we say farm, but we can also use this for animals, in this case, even for wild animals as well. It's where they are raised or it's where they grow, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Rhino farm이라는 게 이제 코뿔소 농장이 되겠습니다. A couple of days ago, I watched Charlotte's Web with my children, the movie. And of course, they had already read the book. And there you have a farm with all of these farm animals.
Right.
Now, it's a little bit different to a rhino farm.
Right.
But the stereotypical farm we think of normally has cows and horses
Pigs,
and chickens.
like domesticated animals we usually think of. But here, you know, they're taking care of wild animals, rhinoceros.
Exactly.
Right.
The next expression is to return something to the wild.
Right. So, you know, returning something to the wild, it's basically setting them free, letting them go back to their natural environment. So, for example, when I think of returning something to the wild, I think of the film Free Willy.
Oh, the whale.
You know the film.
Yes.
So I'm thinking whales, I'm thinking dolphins. So for example, the dolphins that were kept in captivity have been returned to the wild.
돌고래가 다시 이제 야생으로 바다로 돌려보내졌다라고 할 때 dolphins have been returned to the wild라고 표현을 할 수 있겠죠. 이렇게 야생으로 돌려보낼 때 return A to the wild라고 합니다. Here it is one more time. The largest rhino farm in the world, which is home to 2,000 animals and located in South Africa, has been bought by the NGO African Parks, which says it plans to return the southern white rhino to the wild over the next 10 years.